Yes, sir. I am Raghunath, Namakkal district, Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Collegials Biodiversity Conservation Trust.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Good evening, sir. I am Leela, Assistant Executive Engineer, Water Resources Department from Tamil Nadu.
Ma'am, most welcome.
Very welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, good evening, sir. I am a retired Professor Satyanarayana from Wildlife Biology, ABC College, Mayiladuthurai.
Welcome, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Okay, great welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Karnagaran, guest lecturer, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
Oh, welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Hello, sir. Good
Should
evening.
we start?
If possible, let's wait for another 1 minute and
Yes, sir. We can. Sir.
Yes,
maximum.
sure.
Yeah.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Sometime.
Let's
Good evening,
start
sir.
sharp.
Sir, good evening, sir. I am Satish, sir, working in railways. When I worked in Nilgiri Mountain Railway, I joined with this OSA association. Since then, I have been jointly involving with them, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, let's start now.
We have small prayer song. 2 minutes prayer song.
Yeah, please have it.
Yeah.
Sir, I am Nagarajan, Udumali Environment Society, Udumalpet, Tirupur district.
Sir, 1 minute. You have to obey prayer. Right, 2 minutes.
I don't know whose song is coming. Please.
Yes,
Okay.
proceed
Shall we
now.
start, sir?
Yes.
Kalanand sir, shall we start, sir?
Please.
Okay, sir. Uh, on behalf of Save Asanda's movement, we welcome everyone participating in this condolence meet. Here there are the eminent people who have worked with Professor Godgill have also joined here, and people from various parts of the country is joining here to give the respect to the great soul Dr. Professor Godgill. Once again, we welcome you. Please share your experience and feeling on Professor Godgill sir. And since there are several people, the time limitation is there. So take minimum time, and we shall start. People who have worked with Mr. Godgill sir, and first I request Kalanand sir to moderate this meeting because you only know everyone from various parts of the country. So please moderate this meeting, sir.
Good evening, friends. We have assembled online to pay our respect, to pay our tribute to the man who taught us, who inspired us, and who accompanied us in the noble task of understanding, protecting, and conserving Mother. And the man was Dr. Madhav Gadgil. He took his last breath day before study midnight, but has left a long imprint in the history of Mother Nature. And therefore, it is our human duty to remember, to respect, and to repeat his legacy for the unfinished task which he visualized with all of us. So I therefore request all our distinguished friends who have joined this remembrance meeting to please share your heart and mind about your understanding, your relations, your feelings about this legendary man, the son of the Mother Nature, Madhav Gadgil. It would be nice if you take not more than 2.5 to 3 minutes, and those who wish to share their mind, their thoughts, please raise hand. Accordingly, they will be requested to share, to speak. Thank you very much. So let's raise your hand. I request Mr. Janardhan GL to say a few words. Mr. Janardhan GL.
Good evening, friends. Today we are suffering with we missed Professor Gadgil. Gadgil has, especially in Karnataka, He worked for more than 30 years here only. So we associated with him, and so this Gadgil report itself, while making, they are also part of that. So that was our it's helped us to know more about the Western Ghat. So if you want to submit our things to honor Professor Gadgil, we should try to implement Gadgil report for the future. That should be our aim in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Janardhan. Now I request Dr. A.V. Nambi. Dr. Nambi. Dr. Nambi, he is not accessible. Now I request Dr. Yogesh Gokhale.
Namaskar to all of you. This is a very important gathering to offer our Shraddhanjali to Shri Madhav Gadgil. I will not be very elaborate in terms of narrating what he was and what we need to do. But I offer one thing from my side in terms of my organization, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Policy Research and International Studies at the MS University in Vadodara, that we would be very keen to participate as a kind of academic institution to contribute to the cause of research as well as policy making towards the biodiversity conservation and sustainability. And we would be very happy to collaborate and to host a chair in the name of Professor Gadgil, and we would certainly work towards that in days to come. And that would be, I would consider that as one of the an effort from our side to continue some of his legacies further. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yogesh Gokhale. Mr. Nambi.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I request Nambi sir to share more about, because you have been with Gadgil sir personally in Mumbai. So share your personal experience here, sir.
Yogesh just spoke. He was one of his students. But I'm just going to take a couple of minutes just to briefly honor Professor Gadgil. I know, both in terms of theory, practice, and inspiration. My first interaction with him was in the year 1982. I was a very young student. At that time, he was actually in school in my 12th class. So I traveled to Bangalore to meet him at the Center for Theoretical Studies at the Indian Institute of Science. And although I was very young at that time, he asked me, he gave me lunch, and then he spoke to me about ecology and the future it's going to have. I was very impressive, left a deep impression on me as an ecologist. And also later on, with Kalanand ji and Kailash Malhotra, another famous anthropologist of India, we were involved during 97, 98 in what is called the Save the Western Ghats March, and which is actually the precursor of the current movement which is being done. Which is a long history, and it had that march was actually conceptualized and with all the top environmentalists and ecologists of this country, with the significant contribution being made by Professor Gadgil. I've seen him in several of those meetings. We learned many things in those meetings. Later on in the year 91 and 93, I was associated with him as a project assistant in a Ford Foundation project, which is on joint forest management. I had just completed my master's and MPhil. At that time, I really did not completely understand the implications of the joint forest management, which has now become an important in the national governance structure of forests. It's playing a critical role, and we were involved in the project of regenerating, policy implications with the forest department. That actually later I understood that it was a significant change which Professor Gadgil had triggered with the Ministry of Environment and Forests and the forest management systems in the country. He has made a complete dent. People, although people are against and for and against with the joint forest management, but definitely the role of people was completely highlighted where we were able to see policy into action. That's another important area. And during that period, in fact, Yogesh and large number of students, Yogesh himself was a student then, and also we had quite a lot of others who are still I'm in touch. That includes Sheshagiri Rao and quite a few of them. Professor Sukumar himself was a student. Subhash Chandran, a huge number of others whom I personally know. But it was during that time also I learned his theoretical contributions to ecology, where we were also always told about his classical work on RNK selection. He was basically a mathematical ecologist, and it is we very few people these days talk about it. But he made in Harvard University, and wherever he went in the US, he worked on RNK selection. He wrote extensively on the sacred groves of India. Then, of course, he was responsible for large number of students to work on elephants, bamboo, and he wrote the national forest policy in 1988, which is very talks about involving the people in that in forestry. And also, during that time there was a People of India project, which few people know. It was a very significant project on the anthropology of India. He wrote what is called India's biomass budget. All these papers I was completely inspired in by. He is one of my key mentors, and his work on Gavli Dangars with Professor Kailash Malhotra was on the pastoralists of India. And it is very important that students of today should look at those kinds of works to get inspired. It's a legacy, and it is also, it doesn't mean that we have to keep repeating those things, but the current form, the current understanding always comes from what is written in the past, and that he has made that. And of course, his contribution to the Biological Diversity Act in terms of preparation, in terms of shaping what is called the People's Biodiversity Registers, and is very well known. I'm currently with the National Biodiversity Authority. We also currently work on this because it is a important part of the act where people's involvement, a lot of science people are always there, but people's involvement is very much into that particular component, and where people can participate in biodiversity and its conservation and nature. And also his work, classical work on forest history, whether it's this fissured land or in subsequent volumes with ecology and equity with Professor Ram Guha, and his contributions to the Forest Rights Act is very well known. And it's up to the group to go and see those kinds of works which he has done. Is, of course, everybody knows now about the Western Ghats Ecology Panel, where I also subsequently with Subhash, I was able to work something to related to eco-sensitive areas. And my final association with him was in translating his autobiography. I was involved not directly in translation, but I was responsible. I coordinated the translation, and I myself with Professor Satish from the International Institute of Tamil Studies. We edited a Tamil version of his Walk Up the Hills as Malayil Oru Nadai, and it was published by the Textbook Corporation of Tamil Nadu Textbook Corporation and released by the Chief Minister. It was also released in Gadgil himself was alive, and he had organized a meeting in Pune where all the versions were there. Tamil was also done. To give a fitting tribute, people, we have to understand that all of us live and we also go, but our ideas, the ideas of this person, of Professor Gadgil, will continue to inspire in the years to come. Many, it will shape a lot of people. I'm very sure that his ideas will continue to shape young minds of this country and in the future. And it's really a significant loss to the Indian environmental and ecology movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nambi. I request Vidya TNC to share your mind. Please introduce in few seconds and speak for maximum 3 minutes. And I request other honorable members to please raise their hands so that I should be able to call your name. Please. Yeah. Yes, Vidya. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry. I'm Vidya. I'm a professor at the Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research in Bangalore. Dr. Nambi gave such a wonderful encapsulation of Professor Gadgil's work and everything. It's really a sad day to have to say something about Professor Gadgil passing away. I'm his intellectual grandchild, in the sense I'm Professor Sukumar's student. I just wanted to say that Professor Gadgil was very encouraging of students. So I was a student when he was at the Center for Ecological Sciences, and he encouraged us a lot to take up work of different kinds. So that's one of the reasons I set up. So we have this long-term monitoring project of Asian elephants in Nagarholi and Bandipur, with over 1,000 identified individuals and so on. So this was one of the things that I set up after my PhD. Then I went and spoke with him, and then he would encourage people to take on these different kinds of research. And I mean, it's really remarkable how he took ecology and conservation to the people with the People's Biodiversity Register, and I think the Gadgil report should also be taken up, I mean, revived again, and I would be happy to help with whatever the group does going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya. I don't see any name, any hand is raised. So I should have freedom to invite our members to speak. May I request Dr. Girija Godbole to say a few words? Girija? Dr. Girija Godbole? May I request to Mr. Himanshu Thakkar to say a few words? Mr. Himanshu Thakkar?
They are preparing, I think.
Okay. It's open now. Please raise your hand, and if you wish to speak out. Meanwhile, I request Sarvanan to say a few words. Mr. Sarvanan.
Jay, namaskaram to everybody. But I'm not much I'm using, because yesterday I heard about this news. Immediately I'm put it a small plantation for tree for Mariel. That is my first step. Actually, I'm when I am young in the Western Ghats March, I met in the Goa. He's very happy to my work. Kalanji about my work in March. After 25 years celebration in Pune, that time I met with my family, the blessing with my family, and also is very appreciate my work about an Aranya. This is actually kind of certificate. No, he is working in fully in the Western Ghats. He put it a lot of effect for Western Ghats. At that time he actually talking. I'm a Western Ghat child. I have to obey my Western Ghats. That's my mother land. I have to work to my mother. I obey to my mother. Not any other kind of things thinking like that is openly talking in that meeting also and personally also. That is the same thing. I'm obey my earth. I have to work. I have to follow this kind of people, words and everything. I have to follow. That is my words actually. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarvanan. May I request Kalidasan to say a few words? In between, I again request to our honorable members who joined today's remembrance meeting to please raise your hand so that I should be able to call you. Please raise your hand. Yeah, Mr. Kalidasan.
Good evening, one and all. Actually, through the Save Asangas movement, I came to know about Gadgil. Though he was working several years, when I joined with this movement, I came to know the scientific inputs that was given by Dr. Gadgil and his team was enormous. Then only I came to know the India's first the biosphere reserve, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, was designed by Dr. Professor Gadgil and their team, and also came to know that the Biodiversity Act, so many things which was remarkable one in the India's biodiversity and biodiversity conservation. And when the Seva Sanghas movement meeting at Kotagiri, which was held during 2009, we were there.
2010.
The meeting was okay. Then Minister, the forest and environment, he came there and we requested him to announce this mountain as a ecologically sensitive area. Immediately he said that we will form a committee. Then within a week, the committee was formed under the leadership of Professor Gadgil, the Western Ghats ecological expert panel. We worked together with the committee in Tamil Nadu, and that was the wonderful, as Vidya told, that was a wonderful recommendation, the full recommendation for the conservation of these Western Ghats. What we can do now, Gadgil was not with us, but the report and his work and his team is with us. He will again work to implement the Gadgil's recommendations on Western Ghats. For that, we have to work together. That will be the real deputy for the great man. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kalidasan. Now I request Kalaivani Sundareshan. Please introduce and say a few words.
Thank you for giving this opportunity, sir. And I'm Kalaivani. I'm speaking from Coimbatore. Inspired by the talks of Osei Kalidas and his Osei organization, we used to attend his all his meetings held in Coimbatore. Thereafter, our deep love to Mother Nature, its mountains, its forests, and elephants grew widely, listening to all his speeches. Later, after knowing him, we used to discuss more about environment and everything. We came to know about Madhav Gadgil. My first speech in Coimbatore Toastmasters Club, joining the club, my first speech was about Western Ghats. I got to speak about some 7 to 10 minutes. And I read more details about Madhav Gadkil, and I even gave this speech about Western Ghats to one of the college in Coimbatore. So this is my time to show my tribute and my sincere prayers to his endless journey. Thank you everybody for joining this moment, and this is from my side. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Kalavani. I don't see any other hands. Any member wish to say something? Yeah, Mr. Pramod, please.
I'm Pramod. I work in Salim Ali Center for Ornithology and Astrohistory as a scientist.
I request Pramod sir to give more insights about Gadgil, since you are the student of Dr. Gadgil and you have been worked until the last minute of Gadgil. So please share the experience you learned from the Gadgil sir.
Thank you very much, Kalidasan. Actually, yesterday onwards, it's a very difficult time for me. I'm seeing the list, Gauri and many of my earlier friends also in this group. Professor Gadgil, I joined with Professor Gadgil in 1995 when I met him first inside in a forest area. He just asked me to come and join in his team. For 5 years, I was with him. He's a actually we are in some of the WhatsApp group. We are remembering him because he is a person who has made us in many ways. The way we think, the way we talk, the way many of our basic approach to the conservation and issues and everything together. One thing which I have always mentioned and told about to everybody, that he's a man who really what he thinks he speaks, and what he speaks he does, something a uniqueness for him. And he's always one thing. I just know when I joined little late now, only because I held up somewhere, so I did not know who all spoke before me and what all the things I spoke. But still, as a person who has really contribute to and worked all along the Western Ghat, understood the Western Ghat properly. Actually, what we have learned from him, and also we are talking about this WGEEP or Gadgil Committee report. What always he said with respect to that report is that if you just translate the content and the material as well as the report to a local language, let the people read it and they let them take a decision. And that is what he asked for, which many of the people who argued against the Gadgil Committee report and Gadgil and all this, all just because I have personally most of the critics which who spoke against this has not read the actual committee report. What is there inside the thing? That was a fundamental thing. When the day Kasturi Rangan submitted the report to the parliament, and that day he was with me in this room in my Salim Ali Center. He was sitting with me, and many people were trying to contact him. And he just the next day, after I only downloaded the whole, then he said, one point he said, what is it? This is actually, if you just carefully look at both the report, you will understand that was only simply diluted report, dilution that happened than what exactly scientifically, rigorously Gadgil Committee report has said. This is something. That was when I entered this the VC this meeting. I was hearing about somebody talking about that, and particularly Osei Kalidasan. This is apart for their committee report, but just if you ask me to my experience with him and all in the Indian Institute of Science, mostly when I was working with him for 5 years, we were about some 25 people in his laboratory. We were all working like a fan club of Professor Gadgil rather than his subordinates. And initially for first year for me, it was he gave me a chance to travel all along the Western Ghat from south to north, and to coordinate a program called Western Ghat Biodiversity Network. Then we were just studying, and he believed in doing everything, including science, in a very participatory way. The idea was to involve local people, particularly the college students and school students, and to observe the biodiversity of their surrounding. In 1996, he wrote a paper in Current Science called Deploying Student Power to Monitor the Landscape of the Country. His dream was, imagine that if every school or college, if they're observing their at least common biodiversity of their surrounding, the entire country is actually it is covered. With that intention, in the 1995-96, he initiated a big program called Project Lifescape, which actually took a it was a totally new idea to bring biodiversity to people and schools and colleges. And even when later on, after a couple of years, this whole idea of the People's Biodiversity Register and the National Biodiversity Act, all things was floating out. Then when we have taken the word People's Biodiversity Register is coined in our discussion, in our meeting in the Institute of Science. That word, when it became popularized, then immediately he thought of, why don't we do it through the school children? There is a school biodiversity register, a program initiated. I'm sure I'm seeing this in the group. Yogesh Gokhale and they also were a part of our team. We have done in Karnataka and many other places this an attempt to take the biodiversity monitoring and this process through school children and their matter. Actually, that prompted me when I came and joined in Salimili Center to work with the school children and working with the kind of maximum taking the biodiversity and awareness and education and conservation through the medium of schools and children and public. He always believed in a dialogue. Whatever, one great thing of Professor Gadgil is, as many of our very youngsters at that time and with him working, whenever he come and discuss with his idea to us, we have given full freedom to completely oppose him. Whenever we said, sir, many times we said, totally what you said is wrong, but of course we have to convince him logically, scientifically, how he was wrong. The moment if we are logically explain him, he was ready to accept and even change the entire program according to the newly understood way of doing things. That frankness I am very yet to see in many of the scientists and people. He is ready to change. He will listen to us, and also he expects us also to be serious when we deal with him and talk to him. That was a very interesting thing, and it was and working with him was one of the I always say many wherever now whatever I am today. See, just because even the position which I got is all because people started seeing me as an associate of Professor Gadgil. I remember during 97, 98, as there was a big national project which we have conceived or to monitor, plan biodiversity and study. It's called Project Lifescape, which has gone to our ministry with the various, that time involving about something like a 20-25 research organization across the country. Actually, though, finally did not pick up for some technical and maybe some reason which I cannot even publicly tell. But the thing is, the greatest another positive, whatever the thing process, one character is that he is actually many times blunt. Whatever he thinks, he will without any what the other people think, he will tell straightly. Because of this, he is a character. Many people I know, many of our people, some cases, of course, some people didn't like him because of this blunt nature. Whatever he think right, what he believe right, he will tell it. But when he scientifically understand that was wrong, he is ready to change also. That kind of frankness, actually, if you just carefully go through our Gadgil committee report, all along I can see a Gadgil's signature of the character. Whatever said, it was not something to get a sort of everybody applause from everybody. It was whatever scientifically supposed to be said, he said bluntly, clearly, and very explicitly with actually real valid reasons. That is what makes him different. And even actually a few months back, actually some 5 days before Madam Sulajana Garg's death, I had over chat with him. I just called him. Actually, it is actually the previous day of the his book autobiography, his Tamil translation was released in Coimbatore. Just previously, I had a very long talk with him. He was remembering very actively the olden days and working and all that things very, very active. Suddenly yesterday, when we got the news, no, it was a bit shocking to me, and of course it is true for everybody also. And he's internally in spirit, he's a sort of an activist, though he's a pakka scientist. At the same time, he was not in the scientific aspect, he was not emotional. He looked for he see everything objectively. That was the beauty of see, always when we interact with all our team members, when we discuss with him, every day evening hours, he will take us for a walk in the evening. Sometime during after, when he goes to home from our department to lunch, he will call us. We'll just walk alone till his house. And that discussion enriched me and made me what today I am. So such kind of a wonderful person. And of course, if you have to take his legacy or to continue his legacy, what we need to do is that, see, whether you can look at Westergaard or anything, one thing which we can definitely see, with respect to saving Westergaard, we can see the report can be properly translated and the spirit can be conveyed to maximum people. If people start discussing what is there in the report very seriously at the grassroots level, the system will change. It will not be, don't give a chance to the selfish people or people with a special interest to interpret what is said. That is the only thing. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity and bring whoever be the people who are actually made this condolence meeting possible. I congratulate and thank you. I remember him in a very, very special way. Thank you all. Thank you for this chance.
Thank you, Mr. Pramod. Mr. Kalidasan, how long we have to continue? Up to what time?
Sir, we can continue, sir. Okay. We can take another 20 minutes at least. Okay. Up to 5, I think up to 5:15 we can.
Okay, thank you. Continue, thank you. Thank you. Before I request Dr. Nagarajan and Dr. Vaishali Patil, I would like to read out. Please wait. I would like to read out a message from Girija Godbole, close to Dr. Gadgil and daughter of Jagdish Godbole, close friend of Dr. Gadgil. Sorry, I'm traveling and there is a lot of disturbance around, hence difficult to speak. Just want to say that when I interviewed few months back, Professor Gadgil described himself as incurable optimist. True to this, he continued his endeavor to save Western Ghats in the face of so much of opposition. Real tribute to him will be to continue this fight. Mr. Nagarajan, you have 2 minutes to share your points. Mr. Nagarajan.
Okay, thank you, sir. I am Nagarajan, Udumali Environment Society, Anomalai Tiger Reserve in Udumalpet. First of all, thank to all. My heartily condolence to our professor. I didn't see our professor, but Professor Dream, I know. Our Professor Dream, I know. We are, Mr. Professor Dream, we are challenging and take him, sir. That's all. This is our message. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kalidas, sir, and other dignitaries.
Dr. Vaishali Patil.
Thank you. I got an opportunity to work with Mr. Madhav Gadgil in 2009 in Sindhudurg district. And when he came to visit the Sindhudurg district with regard to the preparation of the eco-sensitive zones report. And before that, we had a big campaign of passing the local self-government's resolutions in favor of the eco-sensitive zones, and also the movement which was there in the mining movement, which took a stand in favor of this, the report of Western Ghat. And the experience of Mr. Gadgil, working with him and collaborating with him and learning from him, being a part of the movement, was so enriching. I mean, I still remember, like, he visited so many villages in the mining belt of Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg. And he really believed in what the local self-government's Gram Sabha had to say. The Gram Sabha resolutions and the opinions of the traditional fisher folks, the tribals, and the forest dwellers, and the kind of a listening he had provided, accepted them and their views and what they want to do it and their development plan, and bringing that thing, articulating their voices in the report, was something very amazing. And that showed his commitment towards the ecology, his commitment towards the Western Ghat, his commitment towards the downtrodden, and his commitment towards his way of life, what he saw. And I just remembered that. And it is very sad that we have lost him. And it's very rightly said that real tribute to Dr. Gadgil is to keep his spirit alive and to carry out the movement of Western Ghat and people-centric development in the Western Ghat. That's all. Thank you very much.
Dr. Vaishali. Mr. Nagarajan, you want to say something? Mr. Nagarajan? No. Okay. May I request Mr. S.P. Ravi to say a few words? Mr. S.P. Ravi? Mr. S.P. Ravi? Mr. S.P. Ravi?
Kala, I don't see him. Maybe
No,
he's logged
there.
out.
He's there.
Yeah.
Yes, please, Mr. Ravi.
Thank you, Kalanji. In fact, it was totally unexpected when I saw that message yesterday morning in one of the groups. It was really shocking, and in fact, not many people had known about that, because even though he passed away late on Wednesday night, the news had not broken till yesterday morning. And then when we reflect on to what he is and what are his contributions, it becomes obvious that that void is something that cannot be filled by anybody. But of course, Gadgil sir is not with us anymore, but his words and his writings and his deeds are there for us to follow. And the Western Ghats that actually has lost one of its most cherished warriors. I actually came to know him from the time of Western Ghats report only. In fact, as part of that WGP work, I had been part of one of the consultations held at Kerala Forest Research Institute, and then later, when he and his team came for field visit at Adirapalli to look into the Adirapalli hydroelectric project, I could observe him from close quarters, his interaction with tribals, his way of dealing with all those things. In fact, that field visit that was so meticulously planned and so elaborately planned. In fact, everybody, every stakeholder was informed prior to the visit. The kind of transparency that he wanted, that was obvious from the arrangements that the committee had made for the field visit. And later on, in fact, had many opportunity with meeting him, interacting with him, and after the 2018 Kerala floods, he was frequently visiting Kerala. He was interacting with many people, including us. He was very appreciative of the kind of people's flood monitoring activities that were going on at our river basin and a few other basins. It was very encouraging. In fact, one of the most striking aspect that I felt was that despite being so tall in his deeds and in his achievements, he was so humble, so friendly with common people. He was willing to listen to almost everybody. He was willing to listen to opposing views also. In fact, I had some difference of opinion with him regarding human-wildlife conflict. He simply asked me about my opinion. He listened to that. Even though he did not respond to those points, that actually never diminished his love for us, his affection for our entire team. Yes, we have lost a great soul. As many other speakers have said, the best tribute to him would be to relook into the Western Ghat Ecology Expert Panel report. In fact, without without looking into that report, at least states like Kerala and Goa cannot survive, because at the time of climate crisis, the only viable solution for these states is to go for eco-restoration of the Western Ghats, and the best guide still for the same is still the WGEP report, which, as Dr. Vaishali said, has got his signature written throughout. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravi. I see one hand raised by Anu Valentina. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly.
Valentina.
Yeah,
I'm from
please.
a friend of Mr. Kalidas and Dr. Pramod, and I'm part of Sirtuli, and we do a lot for Mother Earth in Coimbatore. I don't know if you've heard of us. And I actually came in with an ulterior motive into this chat room because I do a lot of grunt work from my small capacity for the environment around here. And what was very alarming was the lack of awareness among people and the callousness and carelessness with which they treat nature. Recently, I had a community here which wanted to decimate a particular variety of tree that has been established as a huge urban brand. And I feel that as a tribute to Dr. Gadgil, it will be good if we do some kind of awareness to avoid people thoughtlessly doing away with the trees and, nourishing and nurturing them instead. So I just want to know if there are people, like-minded people in this group who would join me in my crusade to save this particular species from being totally made extinct in the future, because unfortunately the particular tree I'm talking about is Egilai Palai Saptaparani, or a Scholaris tree from which blackboard is made, which has got numerous medicinal benefits. And just because it has a devil tree, and it flowers for about 20 days in a year. And the 20 days, it has a very profuse blooming, and there is a very mild, maybe little intoxicating smell to it. And it's nothing unpleasant. But there are few people who feel that all their medical problems are caused by the blooming of this particular tree.
Please conclude.
So I was thinking, should we do something? I saw Dr. Pramod said we should start creating an awareness among people about his report. We should do that. So I just want to know among us, can we put up something together? I'm willing to join in an awareness drive where we should not take nature for granted. as a tribute to Professor Gargal.
Thank you. We'll take your suggestions seriously. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'm available. Please let me know if there is something you can help me with saving these particular species of trees, and I can do something to help you around going about spreading awareness.
So much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Last two speakers before me. Last two speakers. I request anyone who wishes to speak. Last two people. No. Friends, no one like to lose anyone, and especially no one like to lose a person who has contributed to various life and who has contributed tirelessly and endlessly to the entire nature, and more specifically to the Western Ghats. I heard a new word called environment in 1972 when world leaders met in Stockholm. And our Prime Minister of that time made a speech that poverty is the biggest pollution. And since then, the global initiatives towards conservation and protection of ecology and environment has gone far long way. The first time I heard the word called environmental scientist was in 1979 when Dr. Madhav Gadgil was visiting to the organization where I was associated in Madhya Pradesh. And even at that time, I was not able to understand the overall meaning of environment and overall contribution as environmental scientist. But when I started working in Goa with the Adivasis, in the forest area, in the mining area, when we conceived the idea of having a collective initiatives in the name of Save the Western Ghat March in 1986, that was the beginning of our formal association with Dr. Madhav Gadgil. In February 1987, the two separate committees came into an existence to carry out, to implement, to organize the ambitious plan of a foot march named as Save the Western Ghat March. And the one committee was the organizing committee and another was advisory committee. Dr. Gadgil was happily agreed to be the member of the advisory committee. Many of you know that two teams of environmental social activists started walking on 1st November 1987 from two extreme ends of the Western Ghats towards Goa. That was the first massive programs to create awareness and to attract the global mind towards the Western Ghats. And that march ended after 100 days in Goa. When March was in between, we thought that we should request Dr. Gadgil to present a scientific plan about the follow-up of the march. And he agreed. We had 2 sessions in Bengaluru and 1 in Goa. And finally, he was his draft, follow-up plan draft was ready. it was so unfortunate that when we were supposed to give practical shape to his suggested follow-up plan in Goa conference in January, February 1988, there was a kind of disagreement within us. And one state on the ground of their opposition to the plan draft prepared by Dr. Gadgil, they withdrew from the movement. And thereafter, the movement was not progressing properly. I remember when myself and Dr. Malhotra went to Delhi on the invitation of Dr. Anil Agrawal to discuss the planned follow-up of the Save the Western Ghats movement. And there were two representatives sent by the then Prime Minister. And all five were sitting in Center for Science and Environment. And the only outcome was that we moved away after having a cup of tea, because by the time Save the Western Ghat movement was not in a proper shape after creating so much mobilization and awareness, but was not in shape to carry the draft plan of follow-up, which the conference agreed. And then it took a little long time. In 2006 or 7, Mr. Pandurang Hegde and Dr. Sudhir Sharma approached me and said that we wish to revive the Save the Western Ghat movement. And that resulted into having another conference again in Goa, discussing about the present status of the Western Ghats. And as a follow-up of that conference, we had another conference was planned in Kotagiri. And also we, in a series of group meetings, we decided how to convince the government of India to have a common authority for the entire Western Ghats, which divided into, or which is ruled by the 6 states. And our discussion went on, and final agreement was that let's invite Minister for Environment to our next conference scheduled at Kotagiri, and request him to appoint a committee so that the committee should do the holistic study of the entire Western Ghats and come out with the kind of recommendations we were looking for. And even in that meeting, all were not agreed with about whose name should be proposed to lead this committee. At last, everyone was agreed on the name of Dr. Madhav Gadgil, and that proposal was put before the Minister for Environment and Science, Environment and Forest in Kotagiri conference. And Mr. Jairam Ramesh was kind enough to agree so quickly, and WGEEP was constituted within a month or so. We know that how intense work was done under the devoted leadership of Dr. Gadgil. But unfortunately, again, the movement was split into 2. The problem with the movement or activist class is that they want everything at one time in their basket. And it is very difficult to satisfy them with say 50 or 60% of outcome. Anyhow, we decided to go to, and by the time Government of India rejected the report of WGEEP led by Dr. Gadgil. So we decided to approach to NGT. NGT accepted our petition. It took rather long time. It was a very, very, sometimes we were getting encouraged, sometimes we were getting very frustrating kind of responses. There were times, I think September 12 or September 13, I think so, or 14. I may be missing right now. When NGT asked our lawyer that what will happen if WGEEP report is not accepted in totality, and we felt that, oh, we are going to get the notification on the basis of WGEEP. And our team, led by Dr. Claude Alvarez, prepared a very exhaustive chart, and it was presented, but again, picture was different. By the time high-level working group led by Dr. Kasturirangan was active, their report was also out, and at the last, NGT, with NGT decision, Ministry for Environment and Forest accepted to implement the recommendations of Dr. Kasturirangan Commission. But even though we accepted that for the strategic point of view, but we know that no state has implemented what was promised before the NGT. And after 2 years, again, we have approached to the Supreme Court with a comprehensive writ petition, so that we should achieve the objectives, we should achieve the recommendations made by WGEEP report, which has 3 basic objectives. One is talking about the converting entire Western Ghats into sensitive ecological area with ESA 1, ESA 2, and ESA 3. The second recommendations, for which we were looking for years, is to have a common authority to govern the Western Ghats. And third was to provide more practical authority to the Gram Sabha to discuss and to decide about the natural resources around them. All these 3 tasks we have to still achieve. And therefore, while paying tribute to the dedicated, very devoted, and very affectionate scientist, Dr. Madhav Gadgil, we have to continue our mission to work to achieve these 3 tasks. I'm sure that the Save the Western Ghat movement will try its best to achieve all these 3 objectives in due course of time. I thank you all for joining this remembrance meeting to pay our respect to our colleague, to our mentor, to our source of knowledge. And I'm sure in his absence, his students, his colleagues will keep us providing all kinds of scientific inputs which a movement requires. Thank you very much. At the last, I request Kalidasan to say a vote of thanks. Mr. Kalidasan. Okay, so he's not here. Let's close your eyes and remember him once more. Yeah, okay, Mr. Kalidasan. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Vote of thanks, and we'll close with remembering him for 2 minutes by observing silence, and then this meeting will be ended. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for all the members and coordinators of Save Western Ghats movement, and the experts and scientists and the activists who were share their feelings, share their inputs about the great man, Dr. Professor Gadgil. As we all said, we'll continue on the way which was laid by Dr. Gadgil. Thank to that great soul. Thank you very much.
Let's close our eyes and pay our respect by observing silence to let Dr. Madhav Gadgil. Shanti, Shanti. 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 Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you, Kalidasan and Sarvanan, for organizing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ji.
Thank you, Kalidasan.
Closing words.
And thank you once again for everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for giving this wonderful opportunity. I'm also thanking and praying to may his soul rest in peace. Thank you. I'm Satish from Mosai, Coimbatore. இன்னைக்கு காலையில பேச கூட கஸ்தூரி என்ன சொன்னாரு. எனக்கு உண்மையாலுமே நேற்று நைட் எல்லாம் எனக்கு இந்த ஞாபகமாவே இருந்துச்சுங்க. எனக்கே ஒரு மாதிரி ஆகி போச்சு. நான் முதல்ல சொல்லிட்டேன், நான் ஒண்ணு செய்யறேன்னு சொல்லிருந்தா, இல்லைன்னா செய்ய மாட்டேன்னு சாமி என்ன மாதிரியே இந்த வேலை பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு நம்ம ஆரம்பிச்சிருந்தோம்னா சொல்லிட்டுனா நேற்று வர அவர் என் கூட இதை பத்தி பேசுறதுக்கு வேண்டிய இங்க ஒண்டிப்பூர்ல ஒரு மீட்டிங் இருந்துச்சு.
you.